4th and goal to go to the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
I've seen this one too. Now, this one, Lil'Jordan Humphrey leads the NFL in this key metric, and I'll tell you what, this is a heck of a metric. It kind of makes you wonder why the guy's not getting the ball more. I mean, this is really, really, really impressive. Yeah, I mean, let me pop this up here. A surprising receiver leads the New York Giants in this key metric, but not only leads the Giants in this key metric, he leads the entire NFL in this metric. I'll read this report and then I'll show you. I mean, it's like, it is really surprising. And we got him on the practice squad. Once again, there's all kinds of things. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the team and blah, 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 blah. But you look at stuff like this, and it kind of makes you scratch your head. So let me read this report, and then I'll show you this list here. And it's kind of mind-blowing. Surprising receiver leads the Giants in this key metric. The Giants, who are 2-7, opted not to make any deals at the NFL trade deadline, leaving their wide receiver room status quo. And yet, when it comes to receiver separation, now, obviously the receivers can have separation, and you throw them the ball, and they could drop it or whatever. But one of the biggest things is getting separation. If you can get a separation, you can get a wide receiver on your team that gets some separation, guess what? That dude's open. Throw him the ball. And especially now we got Jackson Dart. Who did Jackson Dart throw his first touchdown pass ever to? Lil'Jordan Humphrey. Of course, it was in the preseason. But right, look, some kind of connection going on there. But all right. And yet, when it comes to receiver separation, there is one surprising player who has stepped up when given the opportunity. That would be Lil'Jordan Humphrey, who currently sits on the practice squad after having all three of his standard elevations exhausted. Humphrey boasts a 70.37 separation percentage per Pro Football Focus, with no other Giant wideout beating coverage at a higher rate. Obviously, Humphrey's own 88 receiving snaps inflate the data, but the former Texas Longhorn star has found ways to get open when the opportunities have been there. 6'4" receiver is not often going to attain considerable distance between himself and opposing cornerbacks. But the fact that Humphrey has 19 snaps with separation on 27, has 19 snaps with separation on 27 separation opportunities speaks to the versatility he has displayed in spurts with the Giants. So out of 27 possible separation opportunities in these routes, 19 of the 27 times he has created separation between himself and the defender. Over 70%. With his size, and we're not talking, the guy's not 5'3" either. He's 6'4", a big target. With his size and those statistics, one has to wonder why the 27-year-old is not on the active roster after exhausting all his elevations. I mean, it kind of makes you scratch your head. I mean, maybe he's not also as much on special teams as the Giants would like, because they bring somebody up from the practice squad. They also want maybe big time on special. Maybe he's not as quite as good on special teams. I don't know. But and he's not like we elevate him from the practice squad and he's going to get paid $10 million a year. No, he's not getting paid a lot of money. Giants don't have a ton of money, but they can elevate him, put him on the team. And the thing is that Bo Collins got injured, and they elevated somebody. They brought up Ray McLeod once again. Considering the lack of scintillating pass-catching options, such as scenario seems plausible. The emerging Wan'Dale Robinson is the only Giants receiver with at least 5 games played who is averaging more than 50 yards per game. He also is the only pass catcher with 300-plus receiving yards. The offense desperately requires more depth. And, it's as weird as it is, it really as weird as it is, Malik Neighbors is still the number 2 as far as receiving yards on the Giants team. Wan'Dale's number 1. But Malik has been gone for weeks, and he's still number 2 on a Giants team. Humphrey is probably not a playmaker who Jackson Dart and company can rely upon in the long run, but as PFF illustrates, he is clearly displaying one of the most valuable traits a receiver can have. Although the 2019 undrafted talent has only 4 receptions for 55 yards this season, all of which came in Week 6 win versus the Eagles, his separation rate suggests that he might transform into an effective red zone threat. Yes, Humphrey has been in the league for a while now and has yet to amass 40 catches or 300 receiving yards in a single campaign, but the Giants should not expect a star to emerge from their group of active wideouts. Nope. They have to experiment a bit and take a shot on unheralded players. Dart's development can suffer greatly if head coach Brian Dable and general manager Joe Shane do not provide him with a functional supporting cast offense. Robinson and Darius Slayton are supplemental pieces, as is Humphrey. The best New York can do now is assemble the most competent wide receiver unit possible. Maybe, just maybe, a practice squad dweller falls under the umbrella. The Giants do decide to add Humphrey to their roster for the remainder of the season. Maybe he gets more opportunities to build on his impressive sample size. The franchise has little to lose at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous. We have absolutely nothing to lose. But let me show you. He leads the league in separation rate. All right, let me share my screen here. I gotta. Okay, here we go. So, Lil'Jordan Humphrey, number 1. Now, I don't know all the players on all the teams, but I'm going to scroll down here to the next New York Giant on this list, and I have no idea who this person is. No idea. But let me just go show you here. Right? What is separation percentage? We got this here. Whoops. NFL separation report. The best receivers at beating coverage to get open. It's never too early to start preparing for next season. And for PFF, that means looking at ways to improve PFF premium stats. One way we're looking to enhance the experience is by introducing more data into the mix. Last season, we presented our separation percentage for receivers to see who created space and made an impact downfield. Here is how the league's pass catchers have fared this season. And look who's number 1. Well, what is separation percentage? Separation percentage measures how often a receiver beats the coverage to get open rather than benefiting from a defense more focused on limiting yards after the catcher, stopping them short of the first down. So, instead of what would you say? They drop back into like a zone coverage. They drop back just short of the sticks, and Lil'Jordan Humphrey runs a 3-yard button hook, catches the ball. Well, they gave him separation, but then he catches the ball 7 yards short of the sticks, and they come up and make a tackle, right? But when given the opportunity to be right running with somebody, he creates separation. He's the number 1 guy in the whole league. Once again, it's real small sample size, but still. All right. This metric is not limited to just targeted routes. Instead, it looks at all routes run where defense tries to prevent a receiver from getting open. But once again, look who's number one. Regular season to date, minimum 27 opportunities. Look who's number one at getting open. Lil'Jordan Humphrey. He's had 88 receiving snaps. He's had separation opportunities, I think this is. There's 27 receiving separation chance of getting open, separating from a defender. 27 times. 19 of those 27 times he got separation, which is a separation rate of 70.37%, which is number one in the league. DeAndre Hopkins, I guess, has been hurt. He's had 84 receiving snaps. He's had 40. There we go. Where are we at there? Oh, there we are, way over here. And he's 28%, which is 70%. But Lil'Jordan Humphrey is number one separation percentage in the entire league. Once again, he's had a very small sample size. Other guys have, who's this here? Jahan Dotson, who's at 201 for the Eagles. He's had a very good high separation percentage too, 63%. But Lil'Jordan Humphrey, number one in the entire separation percentage, 70.37%. 27 times this season, he's had opportunities to create separation on a route between him and a defender. 19 of those 27 times, he has been successful at creating separation, 70.37% of the time. And where is he? He's on the Giants practice squad. But listen, I don't know all the players in the league, okay? So but once I have no idea who this is. So let's scroll down, okay? So we got New York Giants here. And I don't know if this was supposed to be a Jet or something. I don't know, once again. But if we scroll down, we got the New York Giants number one. We scroll down. Let's find the next New York Giant. I have no idea who this is. Ryan Florney? No idea. Maybe is he with the New York Jets, maybe? I have no idea. But he's creating separation 57.14% of the time. Whoever Ryan Florney is. No idea. Let's see. Do we have anybody else? Any Giants? Okay, Theo Johnson. He is 52.38%. Anybody else for the Giants? Let's see. Where's the next Giant guy at here? Whoops. Got a lot of guys. Wan'Dale Robinson, what's he at? 41.49. So, we don't got a lot of guys that create a ton of separation. But one thing the Giants do have, is we have the number one guy in all of football who creates the most separation. I mean, it just goes to show, it's just crazy. Number one guy at the top of the list. I'll get up there sooner or later. Hold on. Any day now. There you go. Number one. Lil'Jordan Humphrey leads the league in separation percentage, 70.37% of the time. And once again, as I said, I mean, it's like, where is he? He's on the Giants practice squad. Yeah, they've elevated him, I believe it was 3 times. So if they were going to elevate Lil'Jordan Humphrey one more time, they would have to sign him to the active 53-man roster, which would cost a little bit of money, but he's not making a lot of money. The Giants have enough money. They could bring him up and sign him on the 53. But instead of bringing him up, they brought up Ray McCloud, who last week got 1 reception for 5 yards. But we'll have to wait and see. Possibly Ray might have a bigger role this week in the game. Obviously, they have reasons why. But it would be a shame. You got Lil'Jordan Humphrey there has been creating separation, which would actually help Jackson Dart out. And we got the guy on the practice squad. So once again, one of those things that make you go, All right, guys. Well, It's been 1 hour and 33 minutes. You guys, hey, Minute G, man. Go Giants, baby. Right? So thanks for hanging in there with me. So, hey, that's anything can happen on any given Sunday. So let the games begin.